Evilslothman here, back from our vid.
Hello! It's been a while, hasn't it?
Yeah, a little bit.
Anyway.
Don't go looking back at the last video where it was. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Anyway.
Right. Okay. Today is a response to Snestastic's video that he put up 2 days ago. And basically, to summarise what he did, he was getting rid of large chunks of his collection because he wasn't going to play them anymore. And he was keeping them for the sake of keeping them. And we both fall pretty much in the same thing, because at the moment we're pretty much doing the same thing. We're just getting rid of stuff that we don't want to play anymore, or don't want to keep anymore. Just a lot of paperweights.
That's one way of looking at it.
Yeah.
Well, basically, I'm getting rid of a chunk of my GameCube games, which may surprise a few of you who remember the GameCube is the one I actually like to focus on. But as Scott has just said, you know, when you focus on one system, you tend just to, you see something that you don't have, and it's like, oh, gotta get that, gotta get that, gotta get that. And I am guilty of doing that, so I'm getting rid of I'd say it must be nearly a third of what I actually have for the GameCube, just keeping the ones that I know I'm going to play over and over again. Also, the other main thing I'm getting rid of is my entire Dreamcast collection, which wasn't big, but had some good quality stuff in there. But the Dreamcast itself, the console, was an impulse buy. I saw it, it was cheap. I don't really care for things to be boxed, which is why it was cheap. It was about sort of 30 quid. Console, free game, 2 controllers, memory cards and everything. But bar a couple of things, I really, I haven't used it. It's as simple as that. And, Snestastic hit the nail on the head, that if you have something that you don't use, what's the point in having it? It's just taking up room, and you should be allowed to focus. You should focus your effort on what system or systems, in some cases, you really, really enjoy, and only get games that you know you're going to play again. So there are still a few GameCube games out there that I don't have yet, that I will get, but I'm going to have to just be much stronger about it than I have been in the past, which is terrible when you've got so many good second-hand shops around Dundee, especially, is part of the problem that I have. You go around, you see the shelf, and you think, oh, I don't have that, buy it. But no. Getting rid of my entire Dreamcast stuff, and I'd say a good third of my GameCube collection, and a couple of others as well. Some of which has already been sold on eBay.
Yeah. Pretty much what I'm getting rid of the Master System for the reason that I don't play it. It's the same thing. It's really, I don't play that system. And I pretty much nail it on the head when I was doing Thunderblade for the... And
that meetup thing.
For the meetup. And Murphy Durf will tell you, I was bloody awful at that game at the meetup. And if I'd even just completed the first level, I would have multiplied my score by 4 times what it was on that record attempt. So, but it was... I don't know, I think much more for that I picked up for nostalgia's factor because it was one of the first systems I had when I was in Germany. I used to go over there, I used to play Alex Kidd, I used to play Super Hang-On and Asterix. And they're good games, but I just don't see myself justifying having a system just to keep like the odd game. It was the same reason I justify I'm getting rid of all my PlayStation stuff, and I'm not keeping the console just so I can have Final Fantasy 6 and Final Fantasy 9 and Street Fighter Alpha 3. Street Fighter Alpha 3 you can get on so many systems, and basically the Saturn version is a hell of a lot better anyway, or the Dreamcast version, which might happen actually. And it's just like 9 I could pick up for like 6 quid on the PSN store, or 6 or 7 quid is for the PS3. Is there any point in having the system just to have 2 games for it? It's like everything else I have no cares for. So that's going. PS2's going. It's just like that one. I think I was much more a GameCube gamer, and basically if you want the ports are going to run better. It's like Snestastic was saying. He there's no point in having ports for the PS2 because it runs better on the Xbox. Well, it runs better on the GameCube. So there is no point in having ports on the PS2. It's like, I kind of fancy getting the Time Splitters games, like 1 and 2 for the GameCube. But I have them on the PS2, but they're going to run smoother on the GameCube. I have Future Perfect, and Future Perfect's awesome on the GameCube. I've had so much fun on that game. So no, it's just pointless doing it. The big one that's gone, pretty much, is a lot of the modern stuff.
Yes.
I've pretty much completely culled near enough all the 360 games. The console's still here at the moment, but that's going to be going soon. Probably next week. So it's just console like that. It's just, but that console, I don't know. I don't play it as much. It's just, but you play it all the time.
I play it all the time. I'm the 360 person in this flat.
But I've moved on from the 360 more to the Wii U. The Wii U is pretty much where I will check in most days, and I'll either play 1 or 2, or I'll play the Rayman challenges.
Rayman challenges are awesome.
So, and yet we never did a video for anything Wii U related. But
watch this space.
We'll watch this space.
Anyway.
But basically, most of the 360 stuff's gone, so that's gone. The PS2's going, and pretty much that's what's going. And yeah,
I mean, we also think it's important to point out a couple of reasons of why we're keeping certain systems and collections. For me personally, I am still keeping my Saturn, my GameCube, N64, and my Philips CDI, and my SNES. I have a SNES as well. Yeah. There's very simple reasons for that. For the GameCube and the N64 and the SNES, it's because it's what I grew up with. Got a SNES. Upgrade to the N64, upgrade to the GameCube. Simple as that, but there's a finite number of games that I want to get for each of those systems. Usually the sort of the really big titles that I didn't have when they were new. So, I mean, just a couple of examples. I mean, a couple of years, last year I got Donkey Kong Country 1 because I have 2 and 3. Things like that. CDI is a slightly different matter. One thing, the actual model that I have, you couldn't buy in stores. It's a special version which cannot be sold because of where I got it from. I got it from my old work, and I could never sell it because they might trace it back. But that is the very first console I ever had. My dad brought one back from work. We got it for free when we first moved up to Scotland, so I was only 4 years old when we had that. It was so great to be able to get one, and I'm just trying to rebuild the very meager library that we had at the time. So that is purely... the systems I'm keeping are purely for nostalgia, and the reason I have the Saturn still with a very concise library is because the Saturn, it's like any child. I want to be spoiled. I always wanted one, and I never got one. So I got mine, and I'm keeping that. But for all these consoles I'm keeping, I'm being very focused on what I'm getting.
Yeah, it's the same kind of thing with me. Well, it's like, as I say, some of them are staying. So the 16-bit things will never go. So the Mega Drive, I have too much. There's too many good games. There's too much nostalgia for the Mega Drive to ever go. Same with the Super Nintendo. It's just 16-bit gaming was pretty much, it was our entry point. It's like you came with the Amiga, the Mega Drive, SNES. A lot of that stuff is where I came in. And same thing on the Game Boy. There's lots of proper Game Boy games you could still collect and everything. So that's all staying. I have enough variants that my idea now is to get specific Japanese games, like exclusives for the Japanese system, and if they're not, and I just have to get an English equivalent, because I'm not paying an extortionate amount to have a Japanese version over having a really cheap British version. It just seems like a waste of money. And I've come to the conclusion I'm not doing it.
I mean, the bottom line is keep what you know you're going to play, but make sure you have a focus. If you don't have and it's self-control.
The only thing I would say is the Famicom is staying because I had to look in the comparison last night. I was going to think, well, everything else is that, so what's the point? I might as well just get an actual proper Nintendo Entertainment System. And I looked at the prices for it, and to get box copies of any of these NES games, you like Castlevania or you're talking Mario 3, they were extortionate. And it's just like, it's actually cheaper to just get the Japanese versions to get of these games. And so...
It's not as if you need them in English anyway.
No, a lot of the stuff, the NES, hardly any of it's needed language. It's just like... So, no, that will never change. So the Famicom will stick around. The only one I'm humming and hawing about is the CD part of the Mega Drive. Because really and honestly, there's not a whole hell of a lot in there that you'd really... justifiably have, unless you have a crazy amount of money to spray it on that Earthworm Jim special edition. It's just like, there is no point to this. So, yeah, the 16-bit stuff is staying. The Dreamcast is staying for the moment, and if I can justify it, there's like some stuff I do want for it. I want Egg. I actually do probably will get a copy of that Street Fighter Alpha 3, and I'll probably get a few of the other fighting games for it. Maybe Street Fighter 3. And stuff like that. Maybe get one of the actual controllers for it. The actual.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. The Wii, the Wii U, the actual GameCube itself might go. I don't know whether to do that or to get a GBASP or to get a Game Boy Player. Or I'm in the middle of debating.
I've already got all that.
Yes. But the Wii stinks. I have far too many Wii games. I've never done the transfer to the Wii U because I kind of like everything on the Wii. I don't see the point in having taken up a hard drive space on the Wii U because I'm actually downloading quite a fair bit off the eShop, and I'm going to have to get an external hard drive quite soon regardless because I've already used up half the hard drive and I've got the premium edition.
Anyway.
So yeah, pretty much that's what's staying at the moment. There's still a fair bit to collect for it. We're just much more concise, much more focused, and much more games that we're actually going to enjoy.
Yep.
So, we're not collecting for collecting's sake, because that's very stupid.
And expensive.
And expensive. But there will be more videos soon, because I can't keep on promising to keep on making videos and then have these sporadic 3-month things. But maybe if I get some better capture equipment, I'm going to try and get some... I'm looking into better capture equipment for stuff on the Wii U, so maybe show that off of better. And we're going to actually get to real work on the Dazzle to get the best out of that. So
we only did 4 videos last year.
Anyway, okay, so we're just going to keep it short, sweet and concise, and that's pretty much what we came to say. I will do another video on the Wii U stuff I've picked up since launch and my thoughts and opinions on it, and we'll do that soon. So until then, this is Evilslothman out.
Cyberlanky as well.
Okay, bye bye.